Hello students, I am Sai Baba here. So in the previous class I have completed discussion of the solutions for questions up to 23. That means so far I have completed the discussion of solutions from 1 to 23 in the assignment in thermodynamics. So in this class I am going to discuss the solutions of the remaining questions, that is questions numbering from 24 to 30. Come on, look at the question number 24 on the screen. This problem was originally given on one of the World IIT exam papers. It is also same problem as it is given in the H. Verma, Concepts of Physics by H. Verma Volume 2. I am going to read out the question number 24 now. The internal of a monatomic gas is 1.5 nRT. 1 mole of helium kept in a cylinder of cross-sectional area 8.4 square centimeter. The cylinder is closed by a light frictionless piston. The gas is heated slowly in a process in which a total heat of 42 joules is given to the gas. The temperature rises through 2 degree centigrade, distance moved of piston is. So you are given the amount of heat delta Q absorbed by the gas. As 42 joules. The increase in temperature of gas on Kelvin scale numerically same as increase in temperature on centigrade scale. So which you can take 2 degree centigrade to Kelvin or 2 degree Kelvin. So to find the distance moved by the piston, you have to know the work done by the gas in the process for which you have to apply first law of thermodynamics. So to calculate the work done by the gas, you have to first know the change in the internal energy of the gas. So change in the internal energy of fixed mass. So you are given the formula for internal energy of the gas. Even if you are not given this formula for internal energy, you should be able to calculate the change in energy. Change in the, of course, number of moles denoted by N here. Change in energy fixed mass of gas in any process given by the formula mu CV delta T. Mu is the number of moles of gas, CV can be written as R by gamma minus 1. The molar specified constant volume, right, R by gamma minus 1. For a monatomic gas, gamma is equal to pi by 3. So that will be 3R by 2. So 3R by 2, we can write CV equal. Same thing is given as 1.5 nRT here. Or you can directly write 1.5. Instead of N, I have written U for number of moles as per the notation used in the latest textbooks. So here, change in energy of the gas will be equal to mu is 1 mole here, 3 by 2 into R is equal to calorie, delta T is R is 2 calorie per mole per Kelvin, mu is 1 mole here. Delta T 2 Kelvin, so simplify this. You get delta U equal to 6 calories. So from first law of thermodynamics, you can write delta Q equal delta U plus W. So from first law of thermodynamics, you can write delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W or simply W. Or work done by the gas in the process, delta W. You can write delta Q minus delta U. Delta Q is 42 joules and delta U 42 calories. 6 calories we can convert into joules here are 6 into 4.2 joules because mechanical equivalent of heat is given us. So 6 into 4.2 joules. So that comes out to, we can simplify it. You get work done by the gas during the expansion is equal to 4.2 into 4 joules. or you can simplify your own way. It is given that the gas is heated slowly. So you may assume that the process is approximately quasi-static. So pressure of the gas at any instant just exceeds the atmospheric pressure by an infinitesimally small amount. It is given that the piston is light frictionless piston. So you need not consider weight of piston in the calculation. So that means approximately can assume pressure of the gas to be constant equal to the atmospheric pressure, which is 100 kilopascal, means 100 into 10 cube pascal or 10 power 5 pascal. So work done by the gas during the expansion at constant pressure is given by P into delta V. Delta V change in the volume of the gas. The change in the volume of the gas, you can write product of area of cross section of the piston into distance moved by the piston. The delta X denotes the distance moved by the piston. So delta V can be written as A into delta X. The A is the area of cross section of the piston and delta X is the distance moved by the piston. So delta X you can write delta W by P into A. So delta W in SI unit is 4.2 into 4 joules. The pressure of the gas is constant equal to 10 power 5 pascal. Area of cross section of the piston is 8.4 square centimeter. That you can write 8.4 into 10 power minus 4 square meter. That means area of cross section of the piston. And write 8.4 into 10 power minus 4 square meter. So that you can try to simplify here. So you get 0.2 meter or 20 centimeter is also. So those who want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause now and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 24, which I just discussed, third option will be the answer. See the next question here, question number 25. 1 mole of ideal monatomic gas, gamma equal to 5 by 2, mixed with 1 mole of diatomic gas, gamma equal to 7 by 5. What is gamma for the mixture? Gamma denotes the ratio of specified constant volume to that at constant ratio of specified constant pressure to that at constant volume. So as I discussed earlier in the theory part, the internal energy of the mixture of the gases, I mean non-reacting gases, because some of the internal energies of the two gases which are mixed, if all the gases are at the same temperature. So, and temperature of the mixture is same as the original temperature of each gas. So, therefore, you can write internal energy of the first gas, you can write, or change in internal energy, you can write delta also. Of the system is equal to change in internal energy of first gas or change in internal of second gas. If the temperature changes by delta. So, you can write new change in internal energy of first gas equal to number of moles of the first gas in a molar specific constant volume for the first gas into rise in temperature. Change in internal energy of second gas equal to molar number of moles of second gas in molar specific constant volume for second gas into rise in temperature. Change in energy for mixture, you can write mu into CV for mixture into delta T. Delta T, the common factor gets cancelled. So total number of moles of the mixture, we can write mu1 plus mu2. The two gases are non-reacting gases. Mu1 is the number of moles of the first gas. Mu2 is the number of moles of the second gas. We are asked to find gamma for the mixture. Therefore, mu CV for the mixture of the two gases, you can write R by gamma minus. New one CV1 molar precipitated constant volume. Here gamma M denote the value gamma for the mixture. Molar precipitated constant volume for the first gas is the molar gas, you can write R by gamma 1 minus 1. That is gamma 1 is the ratio specific heat of the first gas, which is given to be 5 by 2. Molar precipitated constant volume for the second gas, you can write it as R by gamma for second gas, which are denoted by gamma. So R is a common factor, gets cancelled. Here number of moles for the first gas is 1, the second gas also 1. So nu2 and nu1 both are equal, each equal to 1 mole. You can substitute that on the left hand side to complete the calculation. nu1 equal to 1 mole, nu2 equal to 1 mole. R is a common factor, gets cancelled by gamma for mixture minus 1. 1 by gamma 1 is 5 by 2. Gamma 2 is 7 by 5. So, those who want to copy the working, please take a pause and copy the working. Those who want to copy the working, please take a pause and copy the working. So finally, after simplification, defect gamma for the mixture of the two gas are 3 by 2 or 1.5 is answer. So for question number 25, first option will be the answer. See the question number 26. What would be the most likely value for CP? The molar specific constant temperature. So in general, the heat energy absorbed by a fixed mass of a radial gas in a process can be written in the form nu C delta T. The nu is the number of moles of the gas. Delta T is the increase in temperature. So when the gas temperature is constant, then delta T will be 0. See, as I discussed earlier, specific heat at constant volume is denoted by C. Molar specific constant pressure denoted by C. In the same way, molar specific constant pressure can be denoted by capital C subscript capital T. Delta T will be 0. So if delta T is 0, specific molar specific will become infinity. So CT will be infinity. For question number 26, fourth option is the answer. See the question number 27. The increase in energy of system is equal to the work done on the system. Which process does the system undergo? So W delta Q equal to delta U plus delta W. The increase in energy of system, work done by the system is denoted by delta W. So work done on the system. So given that increase in energy of system is delta U, that is same as the work done on the system. So work done on the system by the surroundings can be taken as work done, negative of work done by the system on the surroundings, or delta W represents the first law of thermodynamics, work done by the system. The equation for first law of thermodynamics. Therefore, delta U in the given process minus of delta W, or delta U plus delta Q is 0. Delta U plus delta W. Delta U plus delta W will be 0. Delta U plus delta W is delta Q. So delta Q is 0. That means it must be adiabatic process. The process is adiabatic. Want to copy the working? Can take a pause and copy the working. So for question number 27, which I just discussed now, second option will be the answer. Question number 28C. Which of the following cases the intensity of fixed mass of an ideal gas decreases? We are given 4 options. So first option, isobaric compression, isochoric heating. Let us analyze each option. So in isobaric process, pressure is constant. The volume of the gas is directly proportional to temperature of the gas. So when volume of the gas decreases at constant pressure, temperature of the gas will also decrease, because volume of the gas is directly proportional. Therefore, in isobaric compression, internal energy of the gas decreases. When the volume of the gas decreases at constant pressure, the pressure at constant pressure, temperature gas also decreases, internal gas decreases if temperature gas decreases. In isochoric heating, isochoric means volume is constant. So heating means temperature, that means in isochoric heating, temperature increases at constant volume. Therefore, temperature internal energy also increases. So in isochoric heating, temperature increases, internal energy also increases. So in isobaric expansion, again Charles' law is applicable. That is, in isobaric expansion, at constant pressure, volume increases, so temperature also increases. So in isobaric expansion, which takes place at constant pressure, V is proportional to T. So volume increases at constant pressure, temperature also increases, so internal energy increases. So internal energy of the gas increases in isobaric expansion. In isothermal process, temperature of the gas is constant. Internal energy of the gas also remains constant. So in isothermal process, the internal energy of the gas remains, temperature is constant, internal energy of the gas also remains constant. So in adiabatic expansion, internal energy of the gas decreases. Expand to the region. In adiabatic expansion, delta Q is equal to delta U plus W. Delta Q is 0. So delta U is minus W. W is positive in expansion, in any expansion. So delta U is negative. So change in the intensity of the gas will be negative in adiabatic expansion, which I already explained in the past. So intensity of the gas decreases and temperature of the gas falls in adiabatic expansion. So adiabatic expansion causes cooling. So in isobaric compression also intensity decreases, adiabatic expansion also intensity decreases. So second option is the answer. In isothermal process there will be no change in intensity. So question number 28, second option will be the answer. If you want to copy this discussion, you can take a pause and copy the discussion. See the question number 29. A fixed mass of an ideal gas expands from state PVT to volume V dash greater than V. Which are the following cases work done with the gas is least. So not just answering the given question, I would like to explain you the discussion with on the help of a PV diagram. Let us suppose in each case the final volume of the gas n times the initial volume. Because V dash is given to be greater than V, that means volume increases. That means n is greater than 1 in each case. Okay. You must know that the area under the PV graph and volume axis gives you the work done by the gas. The initial state is the same here in all the cases. So in the isothermal process, let Pi denote the pressure in the isothermal expansion, the final stage. Product of pressure and volume is constant. So product of final pressure of the gas in isothermal process denoted by Pi into final volume is that is NV. That is called the product of initial pressure and initial volume. So final pressure in the isothermal process will be P by N. In the adiabatic process, the relationship between pressure and volume of the gas given by PV per gamma is constant. So the final pressure in the adiabatic process denoted by P sub T. Final volume is NB. So final pressure of the gas in the adiabatic process, you can write P by N power gamma. Simplified, P power gamma gets cancelled both sides. Here N is greater than, gamma is greater than 1, N is also greater than 1. So final pressure in the adiabatic process, therefore N power gamma will be greater than N power 1, because gamma is greater than 1, N is greater than 1. So final pressure in the adiabatic process will be less than the final pressure in the isothermal expansion. That is less than the final pressure in the isobaric expansion. Isobaric expansion final pressure is same, P. So we can analyze the situation completely if you take the help of the PV diagram. The initial state P the pressure, in each case and V is the volume. So this represents the initial state in the indicated diagram of pressure volume graph. That means we are along y-axis we are taking pressure, along x-axis volume gas. For this first, for the isobaric expansion, pressure is constant. The final volume is V dash, which is more than V. This horizontal line parallel to the x-axis represents the graph for isobaric expansion. So area below this horizontal line parallel to the x-axis and x-axis between V and values V and V dash gives you work done by the gas in the isobaric expansion. That means work done by the gas in the isobaric expansion. Let us call this point as A, suppose this point is B, this point is D, or C, this is D. So work done by the gas in isobaric expansion equal area of the rectangle A, B, C, D. In isothermal expansion, also initial state is again pressure P with volume V and temperature T. In isothermal expansion, the final state, volume is V dash, pressure is P by 2. So PV curve will be a rectangular hyperbola in the case of isothermal process. So you get a curve something like this, which represents isothermal expansion. So work done, this will represent the final state in the isothermal process, let us denote by I. That means work done by the gas in isothermal expansion is called area below the isothermal PV curve and volume axis between the initial and final state. That is area below the curve represented by isothermal curve A to I, then I to C and C to D, D to A. In the adiabatic expansion, also initial state is the P represented by pressure P and volume V and temperature. The final state in the adiabatic expansion, final pressure in the adiabatic process denoted by PA, which is P by 2 power gamma less than the final pressure in the isothermal expansion. But final volume is V dash. Adiabatic curve is more steeper than the isothermal curve, because slope of the tangent to the adiabatic curve at the point A will be more than gamma times the slope of the isothermal curve at the same point. So this curve below the isothermal curve, this will represent the adiabatic expansion. The last curve at the bottom represents the adiabatic curve or adiabatic expansion. So work done by the gas in the adiabatic expansion will be equal to area of this point called as capital A. It's the final state in the adiabatic process. So it's equal to area below the adiabatic curve represented by small a, capital A, CD. So you can observe that the area below the adiabatic curve and volume axis, that is this area, gives you the work done by the gas during the adiabatic expansion, that is less than the area below the isothermal curve and volume axis, which is further less than the area below the straight line AB, parallel to the x-axis, area of the rectangle ABCD. So therefore you can observe that work done by the gas in the isobaric expansion greater than the work done by the gas in isothermal expansion, which is greater than the work done by the gas in the adiabatic expansion. So work done by the gas, that means starting for a given initial state PVT, that is pre-initial pressure is P, initial volume V, temperature is T, the initial state in all the cases. And final volume is also same V dash in all the cases, which is more than P. So for given values of pressure, initial pressure P, initial volume V, initial temperature T, and final volume V dash, which is greater than P. Work done by the gas in the isobaric expansion is greater than the work done by the gas in the isothermal expansion, which is greater than the work done by the gas in the adiabatic expansion. So largest amount of work is done by the gas in the isobaric expansion, and least amount of work is done by the gas in the adiabatic expansion. So those who want to copy the diagram and calculation, they can copy the calculation. So for question number 29, first option will be the answer. If you want to copy the figure or working, you can take a pause and copy the figure and working. So for question number 29, first option is the answer. See the last question, question number 30. Which of the following gas laws is applicable for ideal gas in adiabatic process? So Boyle's law cannot be applied for ideal gas in adiabatic expansion, because explained earlier in adiabatic expansion temperature gas decreases. In the adiabatic expansion, internal the gas decreases because work is done by the gas at the cost of its own internal because no heat is supplied from outside. So temperature decreases in adiabatic expansion. Whereas in adiabatic compression, temperature increases. So temperature is not constant in the adiabatic changes for an ideal gas. So Boyle's law cannot be applied. When Charles' law cannot be applied because pressure cannot be assumed to be constant. So even a third option also cannot be the answer because pressure, volume, temperature, all the three change. Therefore, what you can say is you can only apply the perfect gas equation in the initial state and perfect gas equation in the final state. So for question number 30, fourth option will be the answer. So next I will be showing you the continuation for the assignment in thermodynamics. I have shown only the questions numbering 1 to 30 so far, and I have also discussed the solutions or answers for all the questions 1 to 30. So next I am going to show you the second part of the assignment in thermodynamics, that is the questions numbering from 31 to 60. So first I will be, as usual, I will be just showing you the only the questions on the screen one by one, 31 to 60, one after another. And at the end, I will just show you the answers. And later, next classes, I will be discussing the solutions of the questions numbering from 31 onwards.